I think that she should be given the award because for one simple reason, and that is the impact that she's made. It's the impact on various things such as quality of services, standards, competencies, what she's actually done for nursing, for paediatric nursing, but more importantly, what she's done for children, not just in Liverpool, but across the UK and Ireland.
I first met Katie probably about 3 years ago in a social enterprise event, and little did I know that years later we would be delivering a 3-year, £400,000 Department of Health innovation grant to deliver children's health services in a completely different way.
Katie often seems horrified by the way that we, within the health profession, treat children as though they are little adults, which is a kind of pre-Victorian idea of children, and that, you know, her agenda seems to be very much that actually children require a different kind of care, a different kind of response to their needs, and you don't really realise how important that is until you become a parent. And when you become a parent, it does become glaringly obvious. And she seems to be one of the few health professionals that we've dealt with as parents who actually really does recognise that.
I can vividly remember my first meeting with Katie in my office when she explained to me what her vision for this advanced nurse practitioner, or paediatric, because that was the important thing, the paediatric nurse practitioner programme was. It was so refreshing to hear somebody who was not only wanting to take paediatric nursing to the next level, but more importantly had the ability to do that. And I think that's a really important thing, because people can have ideas about how something should happen and where something should go, but Katie had the ideas and the vision and the skills and the knowledge.
Well, I would say she's the most inspirational person I've ever met. She doesn't lose sight of what the goal is, and for Katie, that is the children and the families that we see, and her colleagues.
I think the impact now, retrospectively looking back, the impact is not just local to Liverpool, but also sort of national. And I think locally the impact is easier to measure because we can see a difference in paediatric services and child health before and after Katie's involvement, really. We can see the introduction of standards, guidelines, competencies, but not just at clinical service level, at a professional and academic level as well.
But Katie was way ahead of her time in that, because it was very much, this is what needs doing, these are the steps that we need to take to get it. All of the sort of bureaucracy and red tape and committees and things that tend to slow up developments in the public sector, and particularly in education at that time, she just didn't have any time for those. And because she didn't have any time for them, we started thinking in a different way. Why do we need to have 3 committees to say whether or not something can happen? It's a good idea, let's just make it happen.
It wasn't heard of in Britain before Katie came along. It wasn't the kind of role. You had nurse specialists, but you didn't have anywhere near the type of role that you've got now, isn't it, as an APNP? There's no other role like it.
However, it's far more difficult to measure her impact nationally through her work through the university, because you cannot capture the cascade of quality standards and competencies of 100 paediatric advanced nurse practitioners. That is very difficult to capture, it's very difficult to measure.
At Hope Street Centre, we've been involved in evaluating the impact of Katie's work in 2 areas. The first is in reducing inappropriate admissions to A&E. We looked first at the impact of services that Katie had led in Cheshire and Merseyside, and were able to show that we had reduced inappropriate admissions, providing a better service to children and parents at lower cost. We're now involved evaluating a new project in Salford, where already the service that Katie's introduced has resulted in lower admissions. The other area we've looked at is in Scotland, where we've looked at the impact on education for APNPs, where a model's been introduced highly successfully based on Katie's work in Liverpool.
I mean, she's never, whatever is thrown at her, she actually never loses sight of what's important, of what actually she's trying to achieve, and she brings everyone along with her.
It's been her baby from the beginning, and sold it to us convincingly, really. You know, she inspired us all to look at this new way of working, to look at a new way of nursing practice at this advanced level.
She can help realise the vision with other people, but she brings out the best in people, and I think that's how you can make these things happen.
So she's got the knowledge and the skills and the vision, and she's just got that ability to make people see how much better they can be and how much better paediatric nursing can be. And because of that, paediatric nursing has become much, much better, and paediatric nursing practice has become much, much better because of Katie, and I don't think that's an exaggeration to say that.
Again, she is the most inspirational person, and the days where everything's getting you down, you just have to speak to Katie, and you're back up there, and you just wanting to achieve more and more because of how much she does empower you, and she wants to succeed.
Because I would say really that sums up Katie. Let's make it happen.
And so I think if you were to cut Katie in half, what would it say inside? It would probably say, I have a passion for child health.
Everyone should have a Katie Barnes.